I'm here with a really good book to review. It is called The Rising by Heather Graham and John Land. And these two authors have written a ton of books, I think hundreds combined, and they've been published a lot and they've been top bestsellers a lot. So this was a highly anticipated book. I hadn't heard anything about it, but it was recommended to me by my husband because he just saw it pop up on the internet and he read all the good accolades on it. So it just came out a few weeks ago and it is called The Rising, and it is a first installment book. And it is, the premises is about it's about a football player and a geek, I guess. But they're highly more interesting than that, I'll give you that. And there's a lot more characters in here. There's a ton of characters in here. It is a book that goes from character to character to describe scenes. But as far as the genre of the book, I would consider it thriller or suspense or mystery even. And I don't generally read those unless it's a favorite author of mine or unless somebody really wants me to read a book and discuss it with them, and then I will pick up this genre. But I wasn't very excited to pick this up because I read the little insert flap. So yeah, I wasn't too excited to read it, but I picked it up at the library and I started reading just a couple of pages in, and it kind of enticed me in. So once I got home that night, I did pick it up again, and it really enticed me in after the first chapter. So as far as who I'd recommend it to, I'd recommend it to YA. I don't think it's too graphic in language or violence or sexuality, and across the board, it isn't one of those specific books that I would recommend, like it's the perfect book for somebody, but across the board, I think people would thoroughly just enjoy this. And the authors are really great. So yeah, about this story, okay. So The Rising, I don't want to give too much away because it's a brand new book, but it is on the premises of suspense, and there's a little bit of alien action, I believe, and it does leave on a cliffhanger. And so yeah, but it's really, really good. From scene to scene, it's very fast paced, and it keeps up. Everything kind of changes from scene to scene. A lot happens in this book. And then also the characters. The main reason I love this book is the characters draw you in. Even though they're such generic characters, it seems like, the first two I told you, the geek and the football player, they're so dynamic and they're so well written. From scene to scene, even when it's like a violent scene, when it jumps from mind to mind, you know exactly whose mind you're in. And so the characters are distinctively written, which is rare. You don't come across this great of like characterization very often from authors. Even some of my favorite authors don't do it. So it is so well written in that regard that it makes it very enjoyable to read, and it makes the story even better to read. So that's the one thing that I loved most of all about this book. But it is a really good book. I would highly recommend it. The only thing is there's one minimal small character that might have had, he was distinctive, like I knew who he was right away, but he kind of had a little bit more boring mind. But how fast-paced the story was, I never got stuck on it. I never had to push my way through that specific character. So yeah, it was really, really good. Tell me if you've already read this or if you're excited to read this and you've also heard about it in the comments below. Please subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of things on books. And thanks for watching everything. Bye!